The Tesla Semi has got a long ways to go, but we just had a very important milestone that I don't believe has ever been crossed before happen, but I'm very grateful to report the first mega charging session has now been documented. Not sure if this was photos that were supposed to be taken, but someone posted them on Twitter. Thank you, by the way, for doing that, of showing off these new mega charging stalls that they've been putting in at Giga Nevada, which kind of reaffirms a lot of our suspicions about that being the pilot line for Tesla Semi, where they don't really produce them at insane scale, but for prototyping and testing and figuring out how they want to mass produce this vehicle, they kind of set up a mini assembly line at that factory, which has a lot of spare space anyway. Rumors and sources from Electric were claiming that even fully ramped, this production line is meant to produce like 5 Tesla Semis a week. So 1 a day, not that crazy, but still, you know, about what Rivian is at right now. But now we've got some pictures of the updated Tesla Semi at this mega charging station topping off, which is great. That means they're testing the internal batteries on this Semi. I have a suspicion it's rocking 4680s. I could be wrong, but I think Elon in the past has alluded to the idea that the Semi kind of needs the 4680s for the payload to work, and I think their energy density alongside maybe some re-engineering of the Semi to make those batteries structural somehow may allow the Semi to reach the insane milestones that Tesla put out for it, which in their last impact report they mentioned that the Tesla Semi should have the same payload capacity as any other traditional semi truck. So having the 4680s and testing them to see how fast they can charge at these new mega charging locations is fairly important, but it's also just really exciting to see how tall the individual stalls are. I mean, they don't obviously look like traditional superchargers, but I think they look really cool. If you look at how tall they are next to the vehicle, they're probably around 6 feet tall, and unfortunately whoever took these pictures wasn't able to get a close-up shot at what the new connector looks like. But yes, this does not use the traditional Tesla supercharger connector. This needs some beefed up hardware that's going to allow for insane charging speeds, not just 300 or 350 kilowatts, but now we're talking closer to 1 megawatt if Tesla's word is true that they expect to recharge these giant batteries within a matter of 20 or 30 minutes. Knowing that it's going to have at least a 500 kilowatt hour pack, probably bigger than that, we're talking easily 750 kilowatts or potentially even 1 megawatt charge speed. So no, to answer all your questions, you won't be able to take any Tesla to a mega charging station, but I'm glad that Tesla is prototyping this hardware now. There's already been some stirred up traction with the Semi because an executive from PepsiCo said they expect the delivery of several Tesla Semis by the end of this year. Elon Musk commented on the subject saying don't look too into it, but of course we on Twitter did our thing and we looked more into it. And because he didn't answer the question, a lot of people took that as, oh, so Tesla is doing limited deliveries of the semi-truck with PepsiCo, but maybe PepsiCo is signing certain NDAs, so they're not allowed to complain about it. Maybe Pepsi is helping out with the prototyping and development so they can help iron out the kinks while still helping them achieve their goal of more sustainable transport of cargo. So Elon, there's really never a good time for you to say, don't look too much into this, because that's exactly what we're gonna do. If you want my personal prediction, I don't think that they're gonna have prototype deliveries by the end of this year. I think the executive on TV is probably just out of the loop. You know, people internally at Pepsi were like, okay, we ordered these semi-trucks, they were delayed until 2021, so that means we should be getting our trucks sometime this year. But whoever that executive was is probably just unaware that, you know, they've delayed the Semi till 2022, and he likely just didn't get that part of Tesla's earnings report, which was a few months back anyway. So I don't expect any deliveries to third parties to begin later this year, but Sawyer Merritt on Twitter, who has proven to be a reliable source on certain subjects in the past, is already saying that they've been running some laps between the Fremont factory and Giga Nevada with the Tesla Semi. I find that slightly hard to believe considering no one caught any images of it driving on the freeway. Maybe they're just doing it at nighttime so it's harder to spot or that kind of thing, but it is encouraging to actually see the Tesla Semi hooked up to a traditional trailer alongside all of the other trailers at Giga Nevada. This points to the idea that they are actually using it to move batteries and packs from the Nevada facility to Fremont, which I've talked about in previous videos. That makes perfect sense. It's very much downhill all the way to Fremont where you're delivering your batteries and then just bring the semi-truck back to Nevada with an empty payload, so the range should be much better. And given the range is supposed to be over 500 miles on these trucks, you wouldn't really need to recharge at Fremont. So if they were to start prototyping more Tesla semis for internal usage, figuring out the problem, seeing how the battery packs perform under stress with high inclines and heavy payloads and that kind of thing. It makes so much sense that I have a hard time believing Tesla won't do it, so it's encouraging that they're finally testing out the MegaChargers to see how these batteries can age. And yes, semis have charged at superchargers in the past, but this is the first time they've actually built a station specifically for the semi, which is likely using the very, very high charging speed. So I would hope Tesla gives us more information on this on the next earnings call, but they probably won't. I'm still not expecting semi deliveries to begin until next year, but this is still a really encouraging step that I'm glad to see Tesla is taking. And of course, as always, I'm curious to hear what you guys think of the Tesla semi mega charging stations. Do you like the way they look? Do you think Cybertrucks, maybe 500-mile variants, should be able to charge here because they're going to be towing stuff and trying to get a Cybertruck with a big trailer through a supercharger? That's just going to be too hard. All that good stuff. Feel free to let me know what you're thinking down below. Thank you to everybody who supported me over on Patreon. It really helps a lot. And thank you all for watching. Hope you have an excellent rest of your day. Take care.